Welcome to the review segment where we take a look at the newspapers. Ben, I forgot, yesterday was 15th of July?
Yep.
Okay. So yesterday was the date that we know, at least before yesterday, that the big allegation of the $5 million, the GLC was handling. But as I indicated, this was a closed-door session. Have you heard anybody come up with anything that unfolded there?
Mr. O, maintain shame.
So we sent
I
the
have
petition,
not heard anything.
and the responses were out. So we were all looking forward to yesterday's
just as with you, Kojoto. I have no. I was also, looking out. I spoke to a few people. I check like that thing, no. Nothing day.
Okay.
Wahala day.
We'll keep our ears to the ground, and when we hear anything, trust that we'll share with you.
But is the CJ still, in this substantive issue, if it goes before the General Legal Counsel, is he still going to,
I'm not sure if they are dealing with this specific issue. Remember that they
people have called
CID
for
to investigate.
Yeah, there's the Shraj Parliament CID bid, but I'm talking about the General Legal Counsel, because the very person at the top, the head of the General Legal Counsel is the CJ.
Yeah, but remember that the core issue that they are dealing with is a client's or former clients and a lawyer issue. Remember, these are like aside issues that came up.
You see, this matter, the way it is, you realize that in other forms, if we hadn't mentioned the name of the CJ, for example, these matters, whatever other ramifications there might have been, legally speaking, and defamation and whatever, the General Legal Counsel would have come back to them for some likely disciplinary measures against whichever lawyers were involved. And if it gets to that point, I'm just wondering. Some have spoken about whether there would be any recusal, for example, because you can't be a judge in your own case. But we wait to see. But the first bit, what you spoke of, we'll see what emanates from that. Since I've not heard anything and you've not heard anything, we go take them so till we hear something.
Maybe somebody's watching and they know something. Let us know.
If you
heard something, tell us what you've heard. But I'll be going through the Ghanaian Times, the Daily Dispatch, the Finder, Daily Statesman, Daily Guide, and the Accra Times. These are the papers that I have.
Before I get to the papers that I have, this morning, Wawavi, are you ready for me? Are you ready for me?
What don't you know?
You sure say you make ready give me.
Oh, you know you're a smart guy.
Oh.
But I'm...
it don't be that one. As for that guy.
I am ready. I'm like defending champion here, so...
Charlie, it's going to be...
It's not like, am I ready for you?
So
Can
it's
you
like...
stand the heat?
In the blue corner versus in the red corner. I hear you've been beating people left, right, center. and right now the verdict out there is that Charlie Ladai, she's going to finish me. I'm just, be merciful, okay? I beg you. don't take my head off.
We've got a context coming up later this morning, Ben and myself, but I'll be representing all the Hats fans out there. So it's more of an Accra Hearts of Oak thing and Kumasi Asante Kotoko.
It goes without saying who will be repping Kumasi.
So me,
Kumasi Asante Kotoko.
I need my Hat fans. Just change into your jersey, your celebratory shirt if you've got it, and join me, back me up as I win this contest. This one is a piece of cake. Yeah.
Going to be a cake walk, eh?
Yeah. It's cupcake. In fact, a big cake around the HM is piece of cupcake.
What don't you know? That's coming up later on the show. I have the Daily Graphic, Republic Press, BNFT, The Custodian, the Ghanaian Publisher. Can we start with the Ghanaian Times?
Yeah, sure. On the front page, Old Foreign Affairs building abandoned, left at mercy of weather. Plants growing in upper floors. Of course, they don't have a need for this office. I'm talking about the Foreign Affairs Ministry because they have an
new office.
ultra-modern one, yes, at the airport. But you'll think that this will not just be sitting there, but that's what it is. And the paper
But we
is
definitely have use for a structure like this. Definitely.
Of course. So stories on page 16. Let's see how much information the paper have on this one. Let's... I'm not sure. Okay, so we'll come back to it. Maybe I'll share a bit of details. But it says almost 12 years after fire swept through the former Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration Office complex in Accra. The 10-story building has been left unattended to since October 21, 2009, when the misfortune struck. The facility, which shares a compound with the Accra Regional Passport Office near Tema Station, has not seen any renovation for subsequent use. I'm just saying that we won't see any renovation, at least from the Foreign Affairs Ministry, because we know that, they have a new building, but this should be put to a proper use.
Looking at
the structure and bringing something else up,
whatever it is, do we leave things? I know if this was at a hotel facility, something of the sort, from the Nkrumah era, I think, that has just been in the Tema enclave, that has just been left to deteriorate. Why do we do these? We're doing the same things that, look, if you no longer have use for this, you have a better one. There are other entities that likely could use this place. Look, could we, I'm just thinking a bit naively, we have such a huge infrastructure deficit. Couldn't we have transformed this into anything, into what? I don't know, a hospital, a school, some facility, something that would benefit us, maybe an office for the police service or something. Couldn't we have done something with this, renovated it, then leave it for it to become this death trap that it's becoming?
So they have plans, apparently. If you look at the story, a bit of the details in the center spread. The paper says a source at the ministry told the Ghanaian Times that the ministry had plans for the structure, but stakeholders were yet to settle.
Which ministry specifically?
Foreign Affairs. For assessments of the structural integrity and renovation. There's also a bit of the National Fire Service angle. You can check the details out. We are committed to safeguard security of country. President Akufo-Addo, African heads of state in Accra to honor former Nigerian president. Sputnik V vaccine contract terminated. This piece of news was shared by the health minister yesterday. And the story says the contract between Sheikh Ahmed Dalmouk Al Maktoum, Emirati businessman, and the government of Ghana for the former to supply 3.4 million doses of Sputnik V vaccines has been terminated. Kwekwajima Menu shared this. The minister explained that the cancellation of the agreement was because the businessman is struggling to raise the vaccines. Appearing before the 9-member ad hoc committee instituted by Parliament to probe the agreement between Ghana and the middleman, and Ghanaian firm SL Global, Mr. Jimamenu said the termination came at no cost to Ghana. A letter dated July 14. Check the date. July 14 was just a day before the minister appeared before the committee. That letter was the letter that was terminating the contract, a copy of which the Ghanaian Times has cited, indicate that the sheikh said he had endured a series of challenges to raise the vaccines since supplying Ghana with a consignment of 20,000 doses early on in the year. The rest is for you to grab the paper and read. South Africa, if you look at page 5, before page 5 though, let's do page 3. The police are on a manhunt for a businessman and an accomplice who allegedly swindled a Ghanaian and 2 Japanese partners of $150,000 in a fake gold transaction. It follows an arrest warrant issued by the district court in Kaneshie for the arrest of Muhammad Ali, 46, for defrauding by false pretenses. Details of that and a picture of the man the police is looking for, Muhammad Ali, is right there on your screen. Also, the Home Magistrate Court has remanded into police custody 3 men accused of possessing arms without lawful authority. Details and the suspects paraded. Also, a man who allegedly shot and wounded 2 persons at Akotoshi, Ajin Kotoko in the Ghana West municipality has been arrested by the police on Wednesday. And then there's also a kidnap issue here. The Jasehine of the Apinto Divisional Council in the Western Region, Nana Dr. Adakwa Bibiako III, who was alleged to have been kidnapped, has now been found. He's said to have been found on the Takrady Road and brought yesterday. Details of his ordeal are sketchy, according to his linguists, but would be made available soon. Let's do I think page 5, just a little update. The South African government plans to deploy 25,000 troops after days of widespread looting and violence. So what we shared with you very early in the week is still very much brewing in South Africa. More than 1,700 people have now been arrested since this order broke out. And it's all because of the arrests of former President Jacob Zuma. On the back page, Lambusi district to be fully connected to national grid, according to the president, and about 18 categories of businesses, including those that affect the country's forest cover, such as artisanal and small-scale mining, have been blacklisted in the disbursement of the newly introduced 145 million small and medium enterprises grants. Details on the back page of the paper.
Let's check out the Daily Graphic newspaper now, and it says pirates on rampage in Gulf of Guinea abduct Ghanaian fishing vessel crew. That is on page 26. You know, in recent times we've been talking about how, the Gulf of Guinea has been the most deadly across the world. And now it's appearing that in recent times we've had another such occurrence. It says pirates have abducted 9 crew members of Ghanaian registered fishing vessels in separate attacks off the Gulf of Guinea. 5 abductees in the first attack have been freed after an undisclosed amount was paid from a negotiated $1 million ransom demand by the kidnappers. Those released include a Korean, a Russian, and 3 Chinese who were all kidnapped on the tuna fishing vessel Atlantic Princess. Now, 4 Koreans of a second attack are, however, still being held captive in Nigeria with a $1 million ransom demand for their release. They are crews of the Iris S, another Ghanaian fishing vessel. So it appears this bit about piracy in our waters is becoming realer and realer, and more real, more and more real, and fingers crossed for some real solutions. Sputnik vaccine suppliers pull out, Minister of Health discloses, and 3 ministries receive clearance to employ 11,840. A quick look at that story on page 16 of the paper says the Minister of Health, the government has given clearance for 3 ministries and security services to employ 11,840 personnel to augment their staffing. The ministries are Education, the Interior, and National Security. The security services are the Ghana Police Service, Ghana National Fire Service, the Ghana Immigration Service, and the Ghana Prisons Service. Especially on the back of what the Ghana Fire Service has been saying about, especially on the back of the fires we've seen, a lack of certain equipment and all of that. It is interesting to know that staffing will be boosted. But this one, Planting for Food struggles for survival. Flagship program partners owed huge debts. And the Minister of Food and Agriculture, Dr. Usu Efriakoto, has expressed worry about the sustainability of the flagship Planting for Food and Jobs due to a large debt owed partners of the program. He said importers of fertilizer under the PFJ were under siege by their financiers because out of 940 million Ghana cedis owed dealers in fertilizer and other subsidies since the beginning of last year, the government has been able to pay only 250 million. This leaves them in a precarious situation. You can check out more details from there. Let me just maybe get to some international news and then wrap it with the Daily Graphic. South African government deploys 25,000 troops after unrest. And that video, I think you were showing the other day with a woman throwing her baby, has gone viral all over social media. People have been looking at it, commenting on it. There's also Nigerian separatists tortured in Kenya. I'm talking about Nnamdi Kanu, a separatist leader. But guess what? Remember Kwawansa? Father of, if you like, African cinema, Ghanaian cinema. He turns 80 tomorrow. Oh. Someone has written, an opinion piece, an editorial on him. Mr. Kwao, opinion, Sir, and Sangana's definition of film. Heritage Africa, is it? Or
and then something.
is it love brewed in the African
brew,
pots?
Exactly. That's the one.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so his big 80th birthday tomorrow. Well, happy birthday in advance.
Yeah, yeah. And then MoonWobble, rising seas to cause flooding. Have you followed the flooding situation in parts of Europe, Germany especially?
Germany,
42 dead, dozens missing in Germany after the floods. But still, Kaya, what's the situation now? The MoonWobble and everything. I mean, these are force majeure situations, not like our flooding, which we have the solutions to and really do nothing about. On the back page, Ghana nurses in Dallas donate to Kolebu Teaching Hospital and CAF, and then 5 suspected galamseyers battling for life after shootout with police. The Daily Graphic is done and dusted.
Let's do the Daily Dispatch newspaper on the front page. Witness on how he helped arrest alleged killer of JB Dankwa Edu. It's still the trial that's ongoing, so you can check out what happened in courts on page 12 in the paper. $19 Sputnik V vaccines contract cancelled. NDC to commemorate 9th anniversary of death of former President John Evans at Mills. It's been 9 years already, huh? He died Tuesday, 24th of July, 3 days after his birthday. And it's, the 9th anniversary will be happening. And the NDC is talking about the events. There will be a wreath-laying ceremony, and they are asking persons who want to participate to wear whites, or there's a cloth, John Evans at Mills cloth. You can grab that as well and be part of the ceremony. Also, Daily Dispatch, well, you talked about the relocation.
Which ones?
Of the Daily Dispatch.
Oh, yes. Yesterday it was mentioned. Yeah. I guess today it's being reiterated.
They're going to Kanda. Just, well, not too far, but okay. I was just going to say the same hood, but no. It's a little bit of a distance.
But Kanda is, historically speaking, relevant for Benefsin, owing to certain things that have happened in this country. But I don't think those are things that
Maybe someday you can give us the history.
Review, so.
All right, okay. So on the back page, the Minister for Education, Dr. Yawose Educhum, has informed Parliament that the contract awarded to Bluegrass Group Limited for the supply of scientific mathematical instrument that has been terminated for breach of contract. That was also another one that was announced yesterday. They said they could not perform. They couldn't supply all the mathematical sets that they were expected to. But we know that there are issues that the NDC MPs are also raising, particularly the members on the Education Committee. And Dr. Clementa Park has been speaking and highlighting after all the incentives that they gave them. And this was also sourcing restrictive tendering. And this is the issue that has come up. They say they saw it coming, and then here we are with what they saw and nobody did anything about. And it has come to this. Should these things be, you tell us and that's it? No consequences or anything?
Is that not what has become, in this country, the exception becomes the norm, and the norm rather becomes the exception. In many ways, things that you feel ought to happen don't happen, and things that should not happen now pertain, they prevail. What can you do about it? I was having a discussion with a friend yesterday, and the point is, we systematically do what is wrong, accept what is wrong, even accept our leaders doing what is wrong. We ourselves engage in the wrong. And when that happens, you normalize it. And it becomes what we are seeing now. Are you done?
Oh, yes.
So let's do Republic Press. And here's one such situation that I'm talking about. It beats imagination, doesn't it? Uncovered Ghana water valve culvert turns into dumping site. This is around 37. So it is uncovered. It poses a danger in itself. Now, just because people have seen that this is an opening within the pavement and all of that.
They're throwing rubbish in there.
They're throwing rubbish in there. And you ask yourself, look, we blame our leaders and we say we should fix this and fix that. I agree. But should anybody tell you, as a rational being, that you shouldn't dump in here? We need to fix ourselves too. We need to fix sometimes I'm sorry, but the things going on, how can you do this?
Yeah.
What is wrong with us?
Everything, Masa.
President Akufo-Addo disappointed in 2020 election results from Upper West, and you heard him, talking about the net gain of 2 and the loss of seats the last time he was engaging them, calling for more. Martin Amidu, my disqualification as special prosecutor would rather have been a disaster for Akufo-Addo. Government dumps vaccine shake, and there are other stories in there. But check out this one. COVID in Namibia, 15 of my relatives have died. One person. This is football star Mali Ngarizemo, who has lost 15 relatives, including his father, brother, sister-in-law, and aunt, since the third wave of COVID hits the South African nation last month. And I'm highlighting this, especially for those who think, oh, BBN to me.
Africa is beginning to record many deaths now, we understand. But somehow we still want to believe that we've been spared. So we're going on with that narrative. If you monitor some African countries, I think South Africa, you can't escape. Is it Tanzania and one other country? They're being stretched now. I remember reading the story that Ghana Health Service indicated yesterday that we're not overstretched. But there are some African countries who are feeling it right now.
Yeah, the heat is on. I think it was just yesterday I was reading, is it 6 million cases or deaths, something of the sort. I think it was in the Daily Graphic. I mean, this latest wave is ruining countries. In Argentina, about 100,000 people have died on the back of Delta, so it's not a joke. On the back page, fix the traffic lights, residents of Kanda to government. That's it for that paper.
So I want to review the Daily Guide newspaper.
Is it the...
So let's just do it. I mean, Daily Guide newspaper on the front page is what I was thinking about. I had, thinking twice whether or not to do this.
Is it about the image?
The Moesha drama unfolds, but that won't be, I mean, she was putting pictures like these out. So can you blame anybody for bringing
No,
such
but I
pictures
feel
out?
when I saw the picture, is it necessary for this to be used?
Well,
is it? I mean, the Daily Guide newspaper
really... That's why I was
because
saying
all of this feeds into a certain, especially when the person is saying, should we have used that picture?
No, but you see, that's the thing. When you yourself put certain things out there...
I totally agree with you, Mama.
No matter what, anybody can pull it out
no problem.
at any time.
But let me show you something. I think it's Republic Press. Let me show you the difference. Look at what they decided to use.
It's a choice.
It is a choice, but look at what they decided to use. Like, look at it. That is what they decided to use. I mean, we have choices, yes. And the Daily Guide could have done better.
Have they seen what's on the front page of the Daily Guide? Maybe I should just let it go for now. Yeah, we'll let it go. So, do you have a paper to do? Otherwise, we'll do my jawline.
BNFT and Custodian, and I think we can go. The Custodian says, Murtala blasts hypocritical Ablakwa over MP's Carlo. You know what he's been saying? That you've benefited twice from it. There are some who have just come to Parliament. They don't even have a tricycle or bicycle, so to speak. And you are here, you benefited twice, and you are saying that based on principle. Where were your principles when you were benefiting twice?
The first time, and then the second time.
So
yeah, I've heard that. But let me just explain, because maybe people may not understand why we didn't put the Daily Guide. It's just the picture of Moesha that they decided to bring that, we're thinking... Maybe not for the screens right now.
Maybe not.
Maybe not.
We both disagree. At least we both agree on that. And the BNFT says, mid-year budget, tell us the impact of newly introduced taxes. That's according to Professor Quarte. And finally, businesses in informal sector ignore fight against COVID-19. Find out why. So those details there.
Oh, let's do the finder. All the stories are very familiar, except EcoBank GCB Bank controlled 23.9% of deposits. Okay. And then TUC yet to apologize to Rebecca and Samira. So apparently in the TUC statement that they issued on the Article 71 issue, salaries or allowances for wives and vice president wives. Okay, first lady, second lady. They said in the statement that the first and second lady had received salaries, but apparently it's been disputed. They said they had not received salaries, as in the name salaries, but allowances, and they expected that the TUC will come out and apologize. But stories just saying that days after, they haven't come out to apologize. We're talking about COVID, right? COVID-19 deaths in Africa surged more than 40% over previous week. Elfriata grants financial clearance for recruitment of 11,840 staff. You can check out details of that on page 8. That's it for the Finder.
Well, I guess we can go online and check out some stories on myjoyonline.com. Let's quickly do that. Government grants clearance for 11,840 jobs in national security, police, immigration, education service, and others. And then there's that interesting, very curious case of missing Takwa Jasehene, who has been found after the threats to his life. Majority calls for Sami James to be referred to Parliament's Privileges Committee. And I guess when you hear Privileges Committee, for most people, it comes with so many things. Some names come to mind that have gone before them. Canadian Japan does not deserve the title Honorable Murtala Mohammed. And this young man rushed to hospital after falling from third floor in the University of Ghana. I think that is Liman Hostel. Then tallest man in Ho pleads for help. And this man's story touches me, really. I feel it is one that shoe manufacturers and others, clothing manufacturers, could actually help him with. He's what, 7 foot 1 inch? That's tall. That's big. Yes, 7.1. I mean, I think it's Ivy Setoji who has been interacting with him. And he doesn't fit in shoes. No one will take him in a vehicle, so he has to walk to and fro. He's too, so he's calling for assistance. Contracts with Sheikh Ahmed Dalmouk Al Maktoum to supply Sputnik V vaccines terminated, that's according to the health minister. Ashanti Regional Police Command begins investigation into the multimedia group complaint against Kennedy Ejapong, and hundreds campaign for removal of Kennedy Ejapong as chair of Parliament's Defence and Interior Committee. You can check out those and many other stories on myjoyonline.com. But with the gentleman, right, yesterday, to be honest, one of the names that came to mind, Horseman Shoes and others. I'm just wondering whether some of these entities, like, it's a heartfelt plea. He is pleading with people, help me with clothes, help me with shoes I can fit in, because I think he says he's what? He mentioned the number of centimeters.
Like the tallest man in who has become like a curse for someone. Yeah. But I was just thinking, I was quiet because I was thinking that if we were somewhere else, we will be celebrating him. He will be the first to do many things.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know who the tallest person in the world is and how tall the person is, but 7'10" is. I mean, you should see him standing by our correspondent, who was like half of him right there. And I hear people come to see him. People sometimes just want to see this person. We can capitalize on it.
He can make money out of that. Proper branding and everything. But now that Ivy's put the story out there, people will reach out and help. Yeah.
Even that is a brand, the tallest man in Ho.
Exactly.
It's a brand right now. Tallest man in Ho.
That's it. Well, before we go though, happy birthday to you, Reverend Father Godwin Konu, Parish Priest, Our Lady of Assumption Catholic Church, New Achimota. That's from your parishness. Happy birthday, sir.
Happy birthday, Padre. Right.
We have to bring you AM Sports. That's coming up in a little bit, but me and you, we are rivals today.
You guys need a shot of this. You know how the boxers do when you want to do this?
We'll see. But remember, from WA welterweight champion Ike Bazooka Kwate, the man whose right jab was rated by the Ring magazine as one of the most dangerous in the sport of boxing. Well, he hardly grants interviews, but our very own Nathaniel Atto, who is a longtime friend of his, managed to pull this off. Kwate, who retired back in 2006 after his fight with former champion Winky Wright, has some investments in real estate, which includes an uncompleted hospital. Ike now needs assistance to get it completed so he can address the health needs of the people of Huawei. The obvious trigger for all this was a recent picture of his on social media, which sparked worry about what he has been up to. So this is an exclusive conversation. Enjoy.